do some measuring for you guys. And I'll show you exactly how long I get the rope for the rope on this traction device, because it's very important that you have this at the perfect length, because as I've been showing you in these clips, or I'm going to be showing you in these clips, it's very important that it's the proper length so that you can do these traction stretches exactly like I'm doing them in the video. If this thing isn't the right length, it's just going to be more difficult. You're not going to get as good results, or it's just not going to work as well. So I got a measuring tape. Let's get started. So this right here is 33 inches. This part right here to this piece, across we got, this is about 11 inches, and then going down we got 53 inches. So add those up. I'll show you a couple little modifications. Look, as you can see, obviously I put duct tape right there just to keep it in place. I always put it on the first row and on the first rung right here, the first little notch, and that's the way I like to do it. It's the best way, and also it keeps it in place. Like, you don't need to move it. It's the unit will just stay together. If you don't do it there, sometimes it moves around. It's really annoying. And right here, this thing has stayed pretty good. Sometimes you might want to duct tape it, but for me, you know, I got it at a pretty good setting here. What's interesting though is actually I swapped this one from my old one I had, and this is the one that it came with. I don't like this one. The Velcro is like really weak on it, and it's kind of flimsy, and I don't know what they did. I don't know why they changed it, but this one is much better. Like, it's a little bit thicker material. This has stronger Velcro, so I don't know if you might run into this. I mean, you can use either one, obviously, but this one from this traction unit I bought for the first one, that I had it for over 1.5 years, I think, or almost 2 years. This one is just much better, and you can see it's a little worn, but it's held up good. It's a little bit better material, so it's a little tip there. And I'm going to show you a tip right here. If you want to make this a little more comfortable, like, it might dig into your chin, your cheeks, or your chin. It's just really uncomfortable, especially when you're putting full traction force on it, like I'm showing you in this video. You're going to take like a shirt. This is what I usually use. And it's got to be a throwaway shirt, because you're going to be stretching out the collar, okay? So you put it over your head like this, and put it like this, put it over my ears. And then you're going to take your, this, and you're going to put it on, strap your straps underneath, and once you get that, then you can pull it off around your ears. The reason you have to have it around your ears first is because it helps keep it in place. So as you can see, look, it's giving me some extra padding around this area. It's a lot more comfortable. I didn't show you wearing the shirt in the video because I didn't, I wanted you to have a better visual of what it looks like. But this is the way I always use it. I mean, this looks weird. It looks, obviously you're not going to be, doing this in public. This is something that you're going to be doing at your house, and hopefully in your garage or something. Okay, so a great tip here is to actually duct tape the top part right here. Once you have it in place, it doesn't prevent it from moving or anything, but what it does is oftentimes these clips right here will, just from using it, sometimes they open up and then they'll slide over the top because there's these little barriers right there. But I find that putting the duct tape is great because it actually just keeps everything in place. Okay, so I filled this bag up right here to about 10 pounds of water in there. Then what I do is actually duct tape the edges of the bag, like before I put the garbage bags on, and that way you're like helping fortify it and you're helping protect it more, because oftentimes where it's going to leak is around the edges. That's at least what happened with my last traction unit. So what you're going to do is, once you've put some duct tape around the edges, then you're going to take a few garbage bags. I put about 3 or 4 on there, and then you're going to duct tape those at the top and just make sure they're on there securely. And once you got everything set up, just tie your rope around the end, and you're ready to go. And it's, like I said, it doesn't look glamorous, but the point is that I'd rather have it like this and not leak on the ground or do anything like that. So it's just much more efficient. I always put the rope right here on the side, okay? And I do it on the front and back. You can just do it on one or the back, or either the front or the back, but for me, it's the best way to do it. It still moves, but it's just a lot more taut and a lot more tight, and that's exactly what you want because you're trying to get full traction, as I've been showing in this video. So that technique works great for me. Right here, this rope, like I was telling you to put the trick where you can put it in the side of the thing. What's going to happen though is that this rope is going to get really frayed and worn out over time. So you have to be very careful, because if it gets too frayed and worn out and you're doing a stretch, this thing might break on you. So always check it and maintain it, and replace it if you have to. Okay? Don't. It's no big deal to replace it. You can just cut it off and just tie the ends. In addition, I usually put a piece of tape right there too, because that's where a lot of the force is going, and you're definitely going to be damaging your door if you don't put some kind of protection right there. So that's one of the things about the over retraction you got to be aware of. All right, so this is how I always start my routine. I've showed you all the tips to get ready when I put it on, so you can see how I fit it. See, there you go. Get your straps under there, and once you're locked into it like this, as I said, the length is so important on this rope. So what I do is I get my knee over the top of it like this, and the other one. And then once that's secured, look how it's completely taut. Like the rope won't even pull down, and that's exactly what you want. So that way you can kind of get the full level of traction that's even possible with this. So I'll show you how I do it. You see me kind of like, I'm like put my feet on the door too to give me a little bit more leverage, and then I just kind of like lean back, and then kind of use my back muscles to kind of pull me back, and then get more traction on this right here. So that way you can get more disc pressure out. And what you're trying to do is you're physically trying to pull the discs apart to the point that you actually hear and feel a click and pop. Like you'll actually feel the discs separate, and it actually happens pretty quickly. Like you'll get on here, you'll do a couple pulls, and then all of a sudden you'll feel like the discs separate, and there's nothing to be alarmed about. That's good. That's exactly what you want, because that means you're going to make progress and you're going to improve the alignment of your spine. So and then I like rotate my neck around just a little bit, moving around, just kind of loosen up. You can do different positions. Like you could do it going this way, and then you can also go this direction too, like this. All right, that's part one. So here's the bucket trick right here. So basically, I've extended this rope right out here. This rope right here, all the way out fully, so it's just completely taut. And then you take the bucket and you're gonna put it underneath your head like this. I usually put some padding right here, but I just wanted you to see what it really looks like. So I usually put like a towel, like a shirt or something on top of it. You see, I kind of rotated my neck around right there. But yeah, I just got really good movement. Like, as you can see, I kind of lean forward and kind of like, you get leverage off of here and kind of isolate a specific area. It's kind of hard for me to talk with this on, but I'm just trying to explain what I did right there. And I just felt like the discs pull apart, and I just got more pressure out that I couldn't even get using the other method. So this is an amazing method that pretty much, I doubt anyone really uses this method. I'm probably one of the few people that ever experiment with this, and it works great. So just put the bucket right here. It's almost like you're pushing your head down into the bucket, and you're kind of putting it right back here, right on this bone right here, on the back of your cranium right here, on the very back of the strap. Okay, here's another trick. This is a little more advanced. So you're going to take the bucket like this and actually prop it up so you're up a little bit higher. So yeah, as you can see, with the bucket trick that I just showed you, you have those two angles. You can use this part, or then you can prop it up like this and put your head up here. And it's kind of like you're almost pushing your head down into the bucket, and you're kind of using it to leverage the back of your neck off of while you're pulling on it. And it's hard to really explain. You got to kind of work on this technique and practice it, but you'll get some amazing movement out of it, like I just did right there when I initially did it. So yeah, this is really innovative stuff, and I hope you're learning these tricks. And just try it. Try it obviously at your own risk. I can't recommend this to everyone, but for me it works great, and I've gotten great results. And the whole purpose is to try to get as much movement as you can to pull the discs apart and release that pressure and help realign your spine. That's what it's all about. All right. So yeah, as I was just doing the trick right there with the bucket, I want to show you. Look, the thing's look how it's completely pulled all the way out like this. And that's the way I do it. Okay, so this is another trick. This is the technique I use while standing up. So you're gonna stand up like this, and then what I do is I have an object right here. You don't have to have an object, but say here's a vehicle right here. Here's a truck. So I'll put my hand on it like this, and then I'll turn my neck to the side so it actually touches my shoulder, and then kind of pull away from the truck, like push off of it. It's a good way to like get traction sideways like that. Do it both sides. And then there's a good one right here. I'll put my hands on my knees like this, and then I just lean back and just relax. You kind of gently rock back and forth like this, and that way it gives you more traction like while you're standing up. And all these are great techniques because they all work different angles. That's what you're trying to do. It's like you're sitting there and you're working that angle, and then you're laying down using the bucket method that I showed you, and then you're doing this method to work the side, and that's what it's all about. I'm basically showing you how to get the most efficient, best results using this method. And as you can see, there's complete full traction. I mean, you can't get any stronger traction than this. I mean, when you have it to the point where the rope doesn't even pull, that's the full amount of traction, and that's the best way to do it. That's the way that gives me the best results. If you don't do it this way, I mean, it just kind of like pulls on your neck a little bit, but it doesn't really like give you that movement and pull your discs apart in the way that I'm showing you in this video. So I might be getting repetitious or repeating myself, but I'm just trying to make you understand like the methods that I'm using and why they're important. Okay. Yeah, be careful when you're leaning back. I mean, don't just lean back with like full force. I mean, you have to be very controlled and gentle with it, So you're really focusing on what you're doing, and you're balanced, and just to be safe, Hopefully the video isn't too long. I just wanted to give you all these good tips because trust me, you can go on YouTube, you can go through tons and tons of videos. You're not going to see a video like this where they really show you in depth how to do this, to this and customize it to this level so it's comfortable. You're getting the best results. You have all these little tricks I'm showing you, and that's what it's all about. This is truly an art form. Okay, this is really an art form. This isn't just hang there and sit there and sit in a chair like they show you in the pictures on the box or the instruction manual or something. This is an art form, and I've evolved and developed this so it works the most efficiently and the best way for me. Like, it just feels good. Like I did a full set right now of all my little stretches I do, and retraction stretches, and I just feel good. I feel like I got movement in my neck, and I'm just feeling like I'm standing up a little bit straighter, and it's just good stuff. That's how you want to do it.